Ever since I got interested in the lathe, I've been fascinated with the idea of intersecting surfaces to generate unique patterns. In my last video, I explored the intersection of a curved surface of a bowl with the flat surfaces of colored plywood. I got to thinking about what you could create by intersecting a curved surface to another curved surface. With a little research, I've found some good examples of this. One of my favorites was running a cylinder through a sphere where the cylinder's diameter is equal to the radius of the sphere. And this creates a very elegant figure-8 shape, which is named after an Italian mathematician called Vincenzo Viviani, and it's called Viviani's curve. I'm making bowls for Christmas presents this year, and I wanted to try and explore this notion a little bit further. My idea is to drill holes through a bowl blank and glue dowels of a contrasting color of wood into the holes. Then when you turn away some of the wood, you should get some hopefully kind of graceful accents generated by the intersection of the curved bowl and the round dowels. And I wanted to make two similar bowls to maybe try a couple of different configurations of this. I'm doing segmented hard maple bowls, so it's a number of what I call glue cycles where I glue up the segments into half rings. Then I joint the halves and glue them into full rings. I sand one side of the rings flat and glue them to the bowl blank. And then I mount this to the lathe in a chuck, and I turn it round and prepare the top surface for the next ring. And I do this for each ring in the bowl. Here I'm making half-inch strips of African mahogany. I got this 3/8" dowel cutter, and I'm using a square socket on the drill to cut the dowels out of the mahogany. I built this jig to hold the drill in a fixed location on the lathe for the holes. I found out my lathe actually indexes in 36 stops, which is unfortunate because I did 8 segment rings for this bowl, and 36 is not divisible by 8 or 16. I decided to just go with 12 holes on the first bowl and 16 on the second bowl, and accept the fact that they just wouldn't be symmetrical with the maple segments. For the first bowl, I went with something not quite as ambitious, just to feel out the process. I'm drilling these holes at an angle, and my goal was to create kind of long oval shapes, almost like pocket holes, all the way around the bowl. In the end, the angle really wasn't dramatic enough to create much of a shape, and it really just looks more like polka dots. And even though it wasn't really my vision, I really liked the look of how it turned out. It's understated, but it has a really nice feel to it. For the second bowl, I may have overcompensated. I finally got all the holes drilled and the dowels glued in, but everything didn't quite go as planned. Not only was there a lot of tear out, but drilling the holes at such a severe angle in relation to the bowl, in combination with the drill jig that I built, which really had quite a bit of slop in it, ended up causing the bit to wander and the holes were not very consistent. And after some turning, my suspicions were confirmed. I really liked the shapes that the dowels created, almost like radiating paintbrush strokes. But because they had an inconsistent length, the bowl didn't quite look right. I had the idea to drill a hole at the top and the bottom of each accent to try and hide this. I was going to glue in another dowel in the hole just to make each accent look a little more consistent, but I found I really liked the look of the holes. To me, it looks like heavy leather stitching, almost like a baseball glove. So I kept the holes and finish sanded the bowl. And you can't quite see it in the video, but the mahogany is quite a bit softer than the maple, so it's sanded down further. And now the bowl actually feels a bit like the mahogany is stretched tight, and the areas of the bowl in between are bulging out a little bit, just like it would feel if these were leather stitches pulled taut. I finished both the bowls with Danish oil. And typically Danish oil is a mixture of varnish and tung oil or linseed oil, but this can says it's pure polymerized linseed oil. I'm guessing that polymerizing the oil makes it more durable and otherwise gives the finish a more varnish-like quality. It's my first time using this finish and I really like it. Here are the finished bowls. If you look close, it's easy to see the mistakes, but I'm proud of how they came out, and I think it was a nice experiment that gave me some good ideas for the future. I definitely want to explore the idea of using dowels and turnings more, maybe some larger diameter ones to get more dramatic shapes. Thanks for watching.